So that's where we're at.
And I'm going to ask a real simple question. Mm-hmm. Are your rights more important than your kids? You know? Just something to think about. You don't have to answer me right now, okay?
I have an answer.
Well, I'm not asking you.
Hunter and Cacey Brown have 2 kids who haven't lived with them since March of 2022 after complaints by the elementary school where they attended of dirty clothes and a lack of bathing. Their son and daughter have been in foster care since March of 2022 in Ogallala. Both Cacey and Hunter admit to having learning disabilities and mental health issues. Hunter suffers from PTSD after being shot while living in Colorado.
They came to our house and said that they removed the kids. They're removing the kids. I'm getting left behind, and several other parents are getting left behind because they go and ask for help if they have mental health problems, and then it gets held against us in court. It's been a long time since we've asked for help, several occasions, and I don't feel like that it's being addressed right now because all we're doing is sitting at home. You know, they want us in counseling, we're doing that, but they should be able to offer more.
Do you feel like you're fit enough as parents to be able to have your children while you're getting help?
Yes.
What would that look like?
Continue counseling, you know, if they have intensive counseling, you know, stuff like that.
What kind of chance would you like to have, and what kind of help would you like to get?
I would like to see them, you know, like if I didn't have a wife and I was a single father, okay, I'm working to support my family and stuff. I have the mental issues, yeah. You want me in counseling and stuff, but how do you expect me to do counseling, work, go see my kids every day in Ogallala and stuff, and then support my own house if I didn't have my wife? I have my wife, so it makes it a little easier. What I want to see is more help for the parents and the ones that don't have a significant other, where they can actually get more help for them, to where they're not like, okay, well, I just give up now. Because there for a while, I was at that point of I just want to give up and not even try anymore. And it's truly heartbreaking to say that, because I love my kids to death. It's just they beat you down so bad and don't want to help, it makes you feel like you're not even a parent no more.
Who's they?
DHHS.
Okay.
I think the whole system of DHHS does that to parents, to where they just make them feel less of a person.
What would you, if you were given the key to DHHS and you could go in and you could do it the right way, what would you suggest?
Truly, I would say they need to focus more on the families and not removing the kids unless it's in an extreme circumstance. In like our situation, there is no need to remove our kids. Tell us what we need, give us the steps, you know, what you want, give us the guideline, we would have done it. They didn't give us that, so I think they need to set out guidelines, you know, rules, you know, this is what you need, this is what needs to happen, or we will take your kids at this point, instead of going, okay, well, we want this, this, and this, not doing it, and then taking the kids.
They give us a broad spectrum between, you know, 2016 up until March 22 of reports that were made that were unfounded. They did not give us a specific, okay, what was the dangerous situation we put the kids in right then and there.
What was the trigger that they showed up at your door? What was the thing that made them go?
They got reports from our child's school saying that we were not bathing them. They had found multiple scratches on my son's back, and that we were sending them in dirty clothes. We washed their clothes every day. We bathed them every day. We fed them every day. We did everything as a parent would do for your child. And it seems like they followed what the school was saying and never really came to us and was all, you know, what's going on? Is there something you need help with? Can we help you? But then they just, oh, okay, we're going to show up. And by the way, we have your kids now, you don't.
It's terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
It is
When
terrifying.
when they came that day, it literally was a heartbreaker to me.
You weren't expecting them that day?
No.
Nope.
I was getting ready for work, and here, knock at the door. Here's a police officer and our caseworker. Okay, come on in. You know, thinking everything's okay. Oh, by the way, we're taking your kids for this. What? Why? Well, this is the reason, and that's all we're going to tell you. Where are you taking my kids? Oh, we're not going to tell you. Oh, okay. You know, that's my life right there you're just taking away from me.
And then on top of that, they have no communication. My son's school called 3 days later and asked if my son was going to be at school that day. And we had to tell them.
So you were getting in trouble for your kid being absent, but the
Yes.
state had your children.
Like, they
Yes.
have no communication between the state or anything, because my kids were supposed to have psychological evaluations. Haven't done it. The judge ordered it. Like, they leave us in the dark so much. It's all, what's going on here and why are you doing this? And then they give you the politic answer. Oh, well, it's this. That doesn't tell me much of what you're wanting me to do. They say me, personally, I become very aggressive towards them. Well, in a way, I'm sorry, but if you can't explain to me what you want done, I'm gonna get mad. Because I'm trying to fix it, but you're not helping me.
And then on top of it, we both have learning disabilities, and so with what DHHS is doing, it seems like they're on page 1,000 and we're still on page 1, and we ask for them to explain it to us better or work with us, and
They get mad.
They get mad at us.
The next thing I do want to talk about, so the recording of the visitations. So my understanding is that Cacey and Hunter record everybody and everything who are in their home at any time and during visitations. That's what I understand. So, it is also my understanding is that family support worker is not comfortable with being recorded during the visitations.
Why?
So hold on.
She's working well with you guys. She doesn't have a lot of concerns. So I don't know that you have a need for the body camera.
Like, our current caseworker, she gets mad at us and, like, somewhat yells at us. It's all, dude, I'm sorry I have to ask you this, but I don't, like, I have a criminal history, but I know that side of the law. I don't understand the child side of the law. So you need to explain what you're saying to me, because I don't know what you're saying. And that's when they came to take the kids. I asked them why, and they couldn't get it to where I understood it. They just handed me papers saying, oh, here's the removal, bye. They basically, in my eyes, forced us and coerced us to take a plea we didn't want, because the county attorney said that she didn't want to do a 2 to 3 day trial, so she wanted us to plead no contest to child neglect, and we would have to do drug patches and whatever else they require, or they will not do a adjudication trial, they will do a termination trial immediately. We're both on the child abuse registry now because of it, because they basically forced it to where we had no option out. They backed us into the corner so bad, there was no option out. Our attorneys gave us no option out, no one gave us the option out. It was just, you do this or you lose your kids.
Do you believe you've ever abused your children?
No. I believe we have made mistakes like every parent would. You don't get handed a book telling you how to raise a kid when they're born. Every parent is learning trial by fire, what works and what doesn't. That's what Cacey and I had to do. My mom and my dad, her mom and her dad.
So would you say this is a generational problem?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Are there things that you weren't taught when you were children on how to be parents now?
Yeah.
Yes.
But then again, we really can't fault our parents, because, like they say, it's babies having babies trying to teach each other. So what they can teach us, we try to teach our kids, we might miss stuff. I believe, truly, if they would teach the cops, the social workers, them kind of people that have to deal with us on a daily basis, how to approach people correctly and not seem like you're becoming aggressive towards us or making it to where we're confused and stuff, it'd go a lot better. DHHS is nothing but a profit industry to me. It doesn't seem like they care about families. It's all about the money and how they can get it.
And job security.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that if there was people that were with DHHS or the county attorneys or, etc., that actually cared. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying all people are like that, but a majority of who we are dealing with,
Seem very heartless.
yes.
Do you think that they're just... Do you think there's a possibility, and I'm just being the devil's advocate right now,
Right.
do you think there's a possibility that they genuinely believe they're keeping your children safe and they're doing good work? Do you think there's a possibility that they've gotten so hardened to bad things that they have seen happen that they genuinely don't want something bad to happen to your children and they're genuinely trying to keep your kids safe? Do you believe that?
A part of us think no, and then a part of us think yes.
We're ripped apart into that because it's hard to say, like, we really never put our kids in a life-threatening situation. When I was shot, I was nowhere near them. They never seen it, nothing. They saw me after I got out of the hospital and saw the damage it did. They never experienced the shooting.
Or you didn't shoot yourself.
No, that was bad, but at least, you know, they can consider, you know, I wasn't putting them in that kind of a situation where dudes were showing up shooting me and stuff. But it seems very bad at that time, you know?
Right.
And I agree.
Okay. So I'm going to wrap it up now. What would you like to say to anyone watching this that needs help?
That, you know, there are people that care, you know, even if you don't think it's DHHS or the courts or the police, there are people that can reach out and just to talk, vent, you know, that are going through same as we are.
Don't ever be scared to ask for the help. I used to be one of those ones that would never want to ask. But as I've gotten older, I've seen asking for help is not always that bad. It just, with how everything is going now, it seems like when you ask for the help, they don't want to give it to you. But don't ever be scared to ask. I believe you guys truly need to step up your way of helping families and actually show that you are supportive of the family and instead of destroying them. And that's from my point of view, is that they're not in it for helping the families. You guys are wanting to destroy families and not help them.
And, you know, just maybe do a little more research about, you know, mental health, you know, and how to deal with people, and instead of, you know, basically judging us, you know, oh, well, you guys have had so-and-so mental health problems, well, it makes you an unfit parent, let's take your kids. So maybe do a little bit more research and ways of how to help instead of being judgmental.
Right. I guess I don't think that there's an easy answer to this. My thought is that perhaps there needs to be a motion in front of the court and let the judge have some input, because on the one hand, if you know it's your home, I understand you have a right to do it. One of the best parts about having a visit in a home is that it is supposed to be the more natural atmosphere, and so I still think that the whole videotaping of everything tends to take away from the naturalness of it. But with that said, I think just the more practical issue is if we have support agencies who decide we are not going to engage in that. That is, we're not going to make that part of the families that we'll be involved with lose options for family support. And I've been involved in cases where family support says this is a situation we can't handle, so we're out. And I've had clients who have gone through every family support agency in town, and then they don't have visits anymore because nobody will take their case. So, I mean, for a while. I mean, there always is interrupts visits. So, my preference would be to have a judge chime in on what is or isn't allowed. And ultimately, if the only way to keep family support agencies on board is it will be to, I don't know, have it be held elsewhere. I think that's the...
They're all recording at the Casa house. They're not just recording in the home. They're using a body cam at the Casa house. Okay. So that kind of nixes that option.
And so on top of that, here's
can I ask a question, Cacey? So is it something that you and Hunter are willing to stop recording during your visits at the Casa House, stop recording at your home? Is that something you're willing to do?
Honestly, yes and no. And I say yes because I don't want to lose the visits with the kids, but no, because we both feel, but me being here right now and Hunter being at work, I feel that it's basically stomping on our right. Talk to a police officer, and I've done my research. I talked to a paralegal, my adopted mom's friend who is a paralegal in Colorado, and Nebraska is a one-party consent state where we don't have to let the other person know, as they are a part of that conversation.
But other people have the right to say no. It's going to be the issue.
And so that's why Felicia's talking about, well, family support can say we can no longer provide visitations because we're being recorded, and that's our concern. I think, if Felicia's talking about that, then we have no providers to supervise visits, and so that, that could happen. Right. Okay. And so that's why I thought, let's just ask how you feel about it, because that could be where we're at.
Right, and I fully understand that, but I feel that, with that being said, our rights are being stomped on.
I think, Cacey, if you listen to your family support worker today, I don't honestly have huge concerns about the visits, because she sounds like she is working well with you guys. She doesn't have a lot of concerns, so I don't know that you have a need for the body camera. And you are correct that Nebraska is a one-party state, but that doesn't change the fact that this is a voluntary service, and she doesn't have to do that. So her company doesn't have to engage in that. And if we lose provider visits, so that's where we're at.
Hunter and Cacey both know that they aren't perfect parents, and they know they've made mistakes. They also know that they need help with their mental health issues. They do, however, have concerns with bruising they've seen since their children were taken away.
Yeah, it just blew my mind how they shrugged the bruises off. For your intake about the bruises, was that typical 6-year-old kid being a 6-year-old?
Not well-defined bruises, like here.
Right.
Those concerned me because they were well-defined.
Mm-hmm.
They went, and even where the thumb, it looked like a thumb had really been pushing.
Yep.
That really sets me to questioning.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I'm glad I'm not the only one that...
Oh, no.
Well, you guys, there's no hope. They have a big case against you. And we went into the court that day for the adjudication hearing, and the judge asked, do you guys feel coerced? My husband.
I backed down.
He backed down, and I said, yes, I do. And she goes, well, we won't get you guys won't get a trial to fight what you guys want to say. We're going to take it to termination. So do you feel coerced? And I was like, okay, no. And they're like, do you understand? Do you agree to plead no contest? And I was like, sure. And the judge said, it's either a yes or a no. And I said, sure.
And I told her to say yes under duress.
But
because it is under duress. They're bullying her.
If you answer under duress, they will not accept it. Period. And in court, they tell you, are you being threatened? Are you being coerced? Are you anything? And then they won't listen to you when you say yes. It's all, okay, well, that's not the answer I want. Well, I just gave you the answer, yeah, I'm being threatened. I'm trying to let you know this is not what I want. Oh, you're doing so good, and then we go to court, we get straight crucified every time. It doesn't matter what we do to do anything negative. Right. It's always negative. Like they want me to do inpatient therapy for smoking Delta 8. I'm a concrete worker. I have to support my family. I don't have time for that. And now they're throwing a fit and saying I'm being combative with them. No, I'm not. I have a family to support. I don't have time for that. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not doing anything wrong. I go to work. My life consists of get up at 5 a.m., leave the house by 6:30. I don't come back until 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. I'm in bed already. Like, I have no life. And they act like I'm out doing criminal stuff.
Are they? Do they even give you options?
Nope.
Because could they have, like, if he's the problem, and I'm not saying that you are,
Yeah.
but if he's the problem, will the court consider? Will they even listen to you and say he's going to move out? Let them come home with mom. Will they let you do anything like that?
No, they are using anything and everything against both of us.
They admitted to me and my wife straight up that they are targeting her, but the one they're after is me. And it's not fair to me. You know, I try my hardest. I was a drug addict for almost 5 years ago, and I shut that door, and I've been nothing but a good father and husband to my family, and I'm cut down at every turn.
What do you think they want from you?
I think they have an alternative motive of keeping our kids because we have completed every single goal that they had in our case plan except for the drug patches. They keep on saying that our drug patches are showing up for native THC, and he has a doctor's note from his primary that says the Delta 8 is fine, and because it's legal here in Nebraska. And they're like, nope, and there's no way the drug patches will show positive for Delta 8. They can't, drug patch results can't differentiate between Delta 8 and native THC. And it's all like, okay. And they told my husband, you know, quit smoking the Delta 8. You need to go ask your primary doctor for painkillers.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, give a drug addict another substance, but I shut them down. I went to the pain clinic and I was all, she asked me, do you want painkillers? I was all, drug addict side of me, yeah, I want them. But I'm not going to open that door. She goes, okay, we'll find other stuff to relieve your pain for you. And it's working so far, so.
Other than the Delta 8?
Yep.
So is that something the state is understanding?
They're starting to, but they're still nailing me for smoking, and it's all, dude, what more do you want? Like, I don't change overnight.
Yep.
Meanwhile, your kids are growing up without you.
Yep. And then we bought our own personal body cam, and we tried to film them for our protection to show what they're saying to us and what we're saying. Well, we got basically stomped all over and told if we record them anymore, our visits will be taken from us, and that's when they asked us, is our rights or our kids more important?
So that's where we're at.
And I'm going to ask a real simple question. Mm-hmm. Are your rights more important than your kids? You know? Just something to think about.
As of August 2023, Hunter and Cacey are waiting for a date for the trial to see if they'll ever get their kids back. Reporting from North Platte, I'm Melanie Standiford, Midwest Media by Melanie.